this is a brand new channel that made me $2,000 this month. Here's another brand new channel that made me $1,500 this month. Here's another brand new channel that made me $2,600 this month. And here's another one that made me $2,000 this month. Now in this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I would do if I would start from zero to scale up to $10,000 a month with faceless YouTube channels. Now for the people who don't know who I am, Steffen, 23 years old, and I, currently do about $30,000 to $40,000 a month and constantly building new channels, as you've just seen with the channels I've showed you before we got started here. And I constantly monetize new faceless YouTube channels. Then I've made just $42,000 with just 2 videos, and then I've scaled the channel from $0 to $48,000 in just 30 days, and I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. So I'm constantly building new channels, so you can trust that you're on the exact right place. Now I've helped, for example, here Martins to scale to $31,000 in one single month. Here a different student for $24,000 in one single month. Here a student completely blew up their new channel. Here another one, $12,000 a month, and many, many more. Now, if you're interested in getting the same results, check out the first link in the video description. Book a completely free call with me, and we'll have a look if it makes sense to work together and scale your faceless YouTube channel up. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to pick a niche, all right? Now, I have this whole document, so I'm going to pick and choose some little things that are the most important out of here. Now, we need to pick a niche, right? So the biggest thing the biggest mistake that most people do is they pick random niches, like for example here health or motivation or luxury, or even here the finance niche, like very, very random niches without actually really digging into it. You always have to keep in mind every single person that starts faceless YouTube automation or that gets into it will start in one of these niches, because that's what these kind of niches always come to mind very easily. So please do not make the mistake and pick random niches and just jump into it thinking you're going to make money. You have to understand that on YouTube, there is supply and demand. And this is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation, is basically seeing YouTube as a marketplace, all right? And just like any other marketplace, YouTube has supply and it also has demand, all right? Now, what does this actually mean? Very simple. Supply or demand basically means like, hey, what does the audience actually wants to watch? And demand is just like, hey, how much content is there already? So what normal YouTubers do is they take years to build their personal brands, spend years building a connection with their audience, and it takes a lot of time and hard work to build demand around them, right? Now, luckily with YouTube automation, we skip this whole process. And instead what we do is we look for a topic or niche that has a lot of demand, but no supply. And we just go ahead and post videos inside there, all right? And I'll show you guys exactly how we look for those kind of niches in a second, but there is some very important niche criteria we always follow. So number one, there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in this niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply. Then there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers, super, super important. There are no channels failing. The niche is not older than 6 months. I can actually create better content than my competitors. And then, am I actually interested in this niche? This is not a must as long as you build a team that actually has interest in the niche. And then, is the niche monetizable? Very important, otherwise you're not going to make any money. And then huge bonus if you can actually post long videos. Now, very important is that this does not need to be 1,000% with all niches you find, all right? With the niches we're going to find in this video, because I'm going to show you guys everything, they're also not going to be perfect, okay? But with that being said, let me actually show you guys the best way to go ahead and actually do niche research. And that is going to be with a dummy account. I'm just opening my account up very quickly. So the best way to do niche research on YouTube is going to be with a dummy account. This, what you see right here in front of us, is my dummy account. So this is just a YouTube account that I only use for niche research. So as we can see here, faceless video, faceless video, faceless video, faceless video, faceless video, faceless video, faceless video. Everything is just faceless videos. And the cool thing about YouTube these days is that YouTube is going to show us on our YouTube homepage what we want to watch, right? So if we want to train up a dummy account, let me show you exactly how you do that. So you can do it yourself as well. So I have an incognito open. The cool thing is once it's, up and running like a dummy account, you can literally find unlimited amounts of niches on a dummy account. That's the crazy thing. So here's our dummy account opened up. So just imagine that you're actually logged into this account. So what you're going to do is you're going to look up, for example, the biggest houses, no joke, anything you are interested in, all right? Then you're actually going to go ahead and click on this video. As long as the video is faceless, you can go ahead and click on that video. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to scroll down here on the sidebar and look for more faceless channels or more faceless videos we can actually click on. Like for example, this video is also faceless, and we just go down again and we look for the next faceless thing. So very important is that you don't click on any kind of animated videos. That's just something I would not recommend you guys to do, because we don't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars for content, right? Because you don't have to. Okay, so here's another faceless channel. Boom, 99 subscribers, 10,000 views. This looks super good. So let's have a look. Not doing too well, so we're kind of looking for more consistency between the views. So here's another one. I already see like we're kind of moving towards the history. But that's completely fine. Like for me, I don't worry what I'm going to post about, as long as it can actually make money. For some people, you need something that is interesting to you. So, but that's completely up to you. So let's click on a few more videos. And then, again, this channel, let's click on, let's say, for example, this one. Now we clicked on a few channels. Now we can go back to our YouTube homepage, and now we can actually have a look. Hey, what can we find on our YouTube homepage that might be interesting for us? Now here, just as an example, is already something. So what we're currently looking for, again, small channels getting a lot of views. So here we have one small channel, 30,000 subscribers, with 33 videos. Looks pretty decent. Then let's go back to my account, like here, and we can then use Next Level, which I'll link in the video description. Like, it's a super cool tool to kind of analyze channels. So here we can see, firstly, 3 million views, very good. This channel is making 700,000 views a week. And if we click here with Next Level and we click on Analytics, very simple. All right, then we can actually load up the RPM and see, hey, how much is this channel actually making? So here, this channel is making $14,000 a month. Then you have to now ask yourself, like, hey, is $14,000 enough? Is $14,000 a month enough for me to kind of, be happy with it? If yes, then we can go for this exact niche. Now, something I can tell you guys is that, I like to go for smaller niches, right? Niches that make anywhere from, let's say, just as an example, $3,000 to $6,000 a month. Very simple reason, very low competition, in most cases very evergreen. And the other thing is, like, the content in most cases is super cheap to create. All right, that's what I like to do, and I really like to diversify my channels. All right, so I don't want to have one channel that does or that generates me $30,000 a month. I rather have 10 channels that generate me that, because then I know, okay, if something happens to one, I don't mind. I'll just go ahead and build a new one. Very simple. All right, so let's say we want to go for this exact channel. First thing we need is video ideas. Now for that, I have specific prompts that we use. I'm going to use ChatGPT for this video example. So I'm just going to put the prompt inside here. Boom. So the prompt is very simple. Pretend you are a YouTube guru and faceless channel expert. Write me a prompt to copy this style of videos. I want the perfect ideation model. Write me video ideas based on these outliers that performed well on this channel. Target clickbait and CTR. Write me the prompt on ChatGPT. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go ahead to the most popular videos. We are just going to go ahead, make a screenshot of that, and then we are going to paste it right into here. Now, once this is done and loaded, we can send that and right into here. And then, ChatGPT is now actually going to give us a prompt that we can give back to ChatGPT to write us or to give us video ideas. Now, while this is going, guys, keep in mind, if you are interested in working close with me, like here, for example, Antonin, who will monetize in just 20 days, then check out the first link in the video description and book your call, and let's have a look how we can scale your channel up together. Now that we have this, I'm actually going to paste this inside here and look that up again. All right, so now it's actually going to give us video ideas. So here, just as an example, top 10 forbidden places you're not allowed to even look at, right? So here, top 10 forbidden places you're not allowed to visit. So this is super awesome. So we're actually going to take and go ahead with the first video idea. You guys can check these kind of video ideas out that it actually gave me and just compare how good it is and how close it is to this channel here in general, because we're literally just using their ideas and generating new ideas from that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to write a script for this exact kind of video. So for that, I have a very good prompt as well, which works great. So Here's a faceless YouTube automation niche I want to copy. Pretend you're a professional script writing genius and guru. These are the 10 best performing videos so we can replicate the success and virality. Using the script I'm going to provide you as a reference, write me a prompt to give ChatGPT to write me the script for the topic, and then make sure it's insanely optimized for AVD and viewer retention and flows the exact same as the reference provided. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to copy the link of this exact same video here. Then we are actually going to go to Google and look up YouTube transcript. Boom, exactly like that. Then we're going to click on this and we're going to paste this inside here and look that up exactly like that. And boom, here we have the transcript of this whole video. Then we're just going to paste it inside here as well, exactly like I did right here. Then we're going to send it off, as easy as that. So now we sent it off, and then it's actually going to write us a prompt to, give back to ChatGPT to then write us a script that flows exactly like the original, because we don't want to change the concept. We want to keep it the same, but just for new video topics. So here we have the exact kind of prompt. So now we're just going to copy this prompt. Boom. Okay, it's still going, so I can't copy it yet. All right, so it's writing the script there already, but I just need the prompt, which I'm going to paste inside here. Then we need the reference as well, which we're going to add like this. Boom. And then, what we're also going to add is we're just going to tell it like, hey, please write in full paragraphs and write me, let's say 3,000 words like that. And then what we're also going to tell it is ask me to continue after every 1,000 words. Boom, words exactly like that. And then what we're also, I think that's, let me see. Yeah, that's what we need to write. And then we're actually going to send it off. Now, something I'd recommend you guys to do for, when you're doing this. Now, I'm not going to do it like that because that's going to take forever. But what we like to do is we like to click on deep search, because then the facts and everything are going to be way more way more true. All right. So then we're just going to send this off. So make sure that you're clicking on deep search and your videos are actually going to be better. All right. So here we have the script exactly like this. So it's writing us the whole script. Number 10. So room 39, North Korea. Then here, number 9, this here. And this is super, super awesome. All right. So now it's going ahead with the script. All right. So it's going to write us the first 1,000 words, and then it's going to ask us to continue, and we're just going to tell it to continue. And it's going to continue. All right. Sometimes this actually messes up. So I've heard that Claude is way better for writing scripts. I might actually switch to Claude as well, because ChatGPT is sometimes a little bit difficult to deal with. I can tell you guys that, but that's just AI, But yeah, then next up, we need a voiceover. So what I can tell you is that 11 Labs time has come to an end. What we use these days is GenAI Pro. All right. Super, super cool tool to do voiceovers. So here, just as an example, we get like 1 million credits for only $22. And the voiceovers are actually really, really good. So once we're done with our script, all right, so we would just click here on continue. Once we're done with our complete script, we would actually go ahead and copy our whole script, right? And then paste it into GenAI Pro. So I'm just gonna, do like the first kind of few sentences. Before we kind of generate this, we first need to figure out like, hey, what voiceover are we actually going to use? So for that, we're going to go to the competitor channel again and just take a listen to what kind of voiceover are they using, because then we're just going to use a similar voiceover. So let's take a listen.
Now that you will never be allowed to visit, not because you cannot afford the trip. No.
All right, so it seems like an older guy. So then we're going to go to GenAI Pro again, just click on here. Then go on filters, let's say old, and then we just want to say male, and we click on apply filters, and then let's take a listen to this.
The sound of neighborly chat.
No.
A teenager built telescope.
This one is okay.
You don't love someone for their looks.
No.
Back in my day.
True dialogue begins.
No.
Hey, I'm just...
No.
The animals adapt, but our survival...
This one could quite be cool. Let's take a listen. Now, obviously, you're going to test around a little bit and try to find something that works. In most cases, you want to take your time to find a voiceover. You do not want to rush it. But yeah, what you do then is you literally click on create voice and it's going to create the voiceover for you. Like I said, I would highly recommend GenAI Pro. I'll link it in the video description. Super cheap to kind of get into, or not get into, but use, because, where do you get like 1 million credits for $22? So that's quite cheap. All right. So I'll get you guys back once this is done and generated. Let's see, maybe it takes, sometimes it's done. So sometimes with GenAI Pro, it's also something that takes a little bit longer. So just be patient with it. All right. It's cheap. So yeah.
There are places on Earth so restricted. You are not just forbidden.
All right, so I don't know if this is going to be the best, but what you would do is you'd literally go ahead and cut out these pauses, right? That's something I'd highly recommend you guys to do. So yeah, now with that being said, now you have your voiceover as well. The next thing we actually need to do is the video editing. Now, this is something where, a lot of people hate me and a lot of people love me, because I am a lot against completely AI generated videos, all right? That's probably also a reason why not one of my channels have been hit with inauthentic content. Our students have not been hit with inauthentic content, right? Not one of the students that is actually running YouTube channels the traditional way as I am running it and teaching it, I always like to use real people to edit the videos, all right? You can also use AI tools, but, I like real content. I like when real people create the content. So where I hire my editors is through my YouTube personal brand, right? Through this one. And I actually give you guys, or the people that work one-on-one with me, a bunch of video editors as well, which are trained, hired, qualified, negotiated, everything. But if you're not working one-on-one with me, I'd highly recommend Upwork, right? Because here you can get pretty decent freelancers for not the biggest amount of money, all right? Then next up, what are you going to do now is once the video is being created, you actually want to go ahead and create the thumbnail, all right? Now, for the thumbnail, I have a prompt as well. So we're just going to paste this prompt into ChatGPT as well. Let's just create a new chat. Then let's just get this topic out of here and we paste the topic inside there. And then we're again going to just create a screenshot of, okay, this is not the most popular. Let's go here. These are the most popular. So just gonna go ahead and create a screenshot and then send the screenshots inside here. ChatGPT is now gonna create us a prompt, that we can then use to give back to ChatGPT to then generate us an image, all right? So this is kind of almost the last step of the way before we're gonna go ahead and start posting the videos. So let's copy this, boom, and then just send it back into ChatGPT exactly like that, all right? So now it's creating the image. What I also like to use is OpenArt, all right? OpenArt is also super cool for generating images and stuff. So here, openart.ai. So I always like the previous version because it's somehow not as slow as the new one. I don't know why the new one's so slow, but here you can choose like the kind of AI or the version, and then here we can just choose widescreen and boom, we can click on generate. So here our thumbnail is generating and here our thumbnail is generating as well. I'll get you guys back once it is done. All right, it's crazy. I gave it 2 of the exact same prompts. This one actually looks cooler than this one, but it generated me 2 completely different images, right? So this here is okay. This here actually would probably fit this channel quite well. It's now not the best, so I would play around with it, and that's just how it is with AI. So you're going to play around with it. But once you have your thumbnail ready, we're actually going to go to the next thing, which is going to post. And this is where we're going to test if this is actually going to work. So I follow this exact strategy with every single niche I go into to avoid spending money on videos that will never work. So first thing we do is niche research. Then we choose an account. So either a new account, a personal account, an aged account, or a pre-monetized account. So a new account is just like a brand new account. Personal account is just like an account you, for example, use to watch YouTube in general. Aged account is just a very old account, and pre-monetized account is an account that is already in the YouTube partnership program, which I would not recommend you to use. Then we need round about 10 10 to 15 video topics, not 5, but 10 to 15 video topics. YouTube takes a little bit longer at this current stage. Then we're just going to write the script with ChatGPT or any kind of AI, then Voiceover with GenAI Pro or 11 Labs. Editor, we can use a freelancer. You know, you can get a pretty good editor for like $15 to $25 a month. Not a month, that would be crazy, like per video. Then for the thumbnail, we're going to use a freelancer or we're just going to do it ourselves. Please don't do thumbnails yourself if you have no idea how to do it, all right? Because your thumbnails actually need to be good, okay? Then for the video length, we want to have our videos 1.5 times longer than our competitor videos. Our thumbnail and our thumbnail and our title always need to be things that have already worked on the platform, all right? We do not want to reinvent the wheel when it comes to our title and our thumbnail. So once we have this here ready, we then go to posting. So we post, skip, post, skip, post, post, skip, post. So we want to be very inconsistently consistent with YouTube. Very strange, but we want to show YouTube that it's not an AI bot that's posting videos here, but it's a real human. So you will see one of two things. So either the channel is actually going to pick up like this. Now, once this happens in the first 15 videos you post, then you continue to post. All right, very simple. Then you continue to post. If this does not happen and it flatlines, right, and if you posted all of your 15 videos, you do not continue with the channel. You do, though, leave the videos on YouTube for it to, you know, maybe gain momentum in a month or something. All right. Now, the reasons why a channel might fail is very simple. It might be because your niche sucks, might be because of your video topics are just bad, might be that your packaging is bad, maybe your video length, or you have a bad channel, all right? Now, in case of the channel failing, you actually want to repeat this process, right? So you go back to niche research, but firstly, before you do that, you actually have a look and understand why did this channel fail? Because if you don't know why this channel failed, you're going to do the exact same mistakes again and again and again and again, all right? But once you know, you go back to niche research and you follow this exact process over and over and over again, and trust me, you're going to be monetized in no time, right? You're going to be, you know, monetized in no time with the YouTube partnership program. And as I've always said, like, this is the easiest way to monetize your YouTube videos, because this is where YouTube pays you directly for the views you get. So for that, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Not the most difficult thing to do, all right? Now, I know 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time sound a lot, but the people we work with get to this point in 3 to 6 weeks on average. Just had someone doing it again yesterday, as we can see here, 1,000 subscribers, could not be happier, all right? And once you have that, you start to make money with YouTube. Right? Now, this is kind of how you do it. I know I kind of went through it quite quickly. I don't want to make a 3-hour video, but if you're interested in, you know, me walking you through everything step by step, doing everything with you, then check out the first link in the video description, because that's the exact same thing we did, for example, with this student who hit his first $1,000 in his first month, or even here, this one, $18,000 a month, or even this one getting 1 million views every 48 hours. So check out the first link, book a call with me. I'll be on the call myself. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.